1 minute is over.
Yeah.
Now you could
Okay.
describe a weird person. Who is that person? What is weird about that particular person? And how did you tackle that weirdness? And how far it affected you? Can you speak on it for 2.5 to 3 minutes?
Sure. So today I would like to speak about, a weird person who has happened to met me, in my past. So I think weirdness is present in, all of the human beings. That is one of the traits which we human beings possess. But it should be at a, certain level. It should not be it should not reach beyond that, right? Which will it shouldn't make people uncomfortable, and it shouldn't affect your affect the person who's in front of you, right? So I had one uncle of mine from my mother's side. He was a relative of my mother. uh, but yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I found him quite weird, as he used to shout on, the kids, the small children, every time, each and every time, which I found it quite weird, and I was also scared of him. Uh, I didn't like that nature of him, so I spoke to my mom and I spoke to my parents about, this nature of him, that this is the person who always shouts, on kids, whether they are playing or whether they are, sitting, whether they are studying. His nature was just to shout and make them uncomfortable, give them the scary look. So yeah, it was quite weird for, in fact, for all of us. So as I was a kid, I couldn't handle it by myself. I spoke to my parents, and like every other normal kid, I have spoken to my parents and I have told them that this is a scenario, and I really don't, know how to tackle this person. So they helped me out. They told me that instead of going and talking to him directly, they told me that you only need to tackle with him because he never shouts in front of us. So they told me that you need to tell him and you need to convey your message that you don't like him shouting on you or any other kid. So that is what I did. One day he shouted on us, and I told him politely that this is not the way you should, talk to children, talk to kids, and make them uncomfortable. I told this in front of everyone, and he got quite embarrassed about it. So I tackled it, and it actually, affected me in both the ways. Like, I was quite, scared, first of all. Firstly, I was quite scared, but then I realized how to handle and how to tackle my own situation instead of involving my parents to each and everything of, mine. So yeah, it gave me a very good lesson.
Fantastically spoken, but you have taken more than 3 minutes. Any of the topics very well you have handled. I
Mm-hmm.
just move on to the topic three, that is part three. Okay, with
Yeah,
regard to this particular topic, I would like to ask you
sure.
questions. The first question to you is, name some weird behavior of people in the public places.
Okay. So I think bargaining with the street vendors, with the vegetable sellers who are already, not having lot of money. I think I find it quite weird when people, rich people especially, who can afford certain things, they still bargain with vegetable vendors or the street vendors. I found it weird. Also, I can say that people not following the traffic rules on roads. When the signal is green, they will still cross the road, right? They are not following it properly. I find it difficult. Other thing which I can say is fighting. Fighting could be one of the criteria where which I actually find weird in among people. Spitting
Well,
on
if you
roads.
say that bargaining is something weird, then you are affordable if you bargain. Have you ever
Yeah.
bargained with anybody for anything? And if it is a weird behavior, why do you follow it?
Okay. To be honest, yeah, I did bargain, in my past when I didn't realize that what I am doing is wrong or, unfair to the vegetable vendors who are actually
No,
not
not only to
pricing.
the vegetable vendor.
Okay.
Bargaining, if you say, if you are affordable,
Yes,
right? See, where
yes,
you are going to
yes,
bargain when there is no fixed price. So
yeah,
because they are already suffering, if they keep some fixed price, the
correct,
people will not go for, and the people will be in the upper hand to go and bargain on it, right?
understand.
See, if you
Yeah,
go to a mall or a showroom or big shop, there is
true,
fixed price. You cannot bargain. You have to share out
exactly.
whatever it is. So you feel that
Yes,
that is your status and prestige. Whereas on road,
correct.
with a vendor you are bargaining, and if there is
Yeah,
any course you are taking, there you are
huh,
bargaining for the efforts
huh,
the teacher is giving. You're not thinking on it. So you, if you have
true.
that bargaining habit, as you
Yeah,
told, bargaining is weirdness. It's not only to the vendor. If you are affordable, if you have a lot of money, and when you bargain for something, why don't you
yes.
think it is weird attitude of you? So have you done it earlier? So why did you
Uh,
do that?
Yes. Earlier, I used to bargain, but now, I do not bargain much because of the two reasons. First is, as I told earlier, I do not find it good, doing it with the vendors who cannot afford things, and, we who can afford things are bargaining with them, right? So this is one reason, and another reason is most of the stuff we go nowadays, we are purchasing nowadays are online or from some mart or from some mall. So yeah, but earlier I used to bargain
No, I
when.
think you didn't get the question clearly. So, as you told,
Hmm.
bargaining attitude is weird. If
Yeah.
you are affordable, and in that situation, if you go and bargain with a person who is having a
Yes.
meager income,
Hmm.
and it is
Hmm.
weird, and it shows that you have the sadistic pleasure. So the
Hmm.
question is, do
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
do you followed it to someone, not only to the vendor?
Uh
have
huh.
you have you got this habit of
Yes.
bargaining when you are in a position to do that, when you are in a position to pay it,
Yes.
but knowing that it might affect the person to whom you are bargaining? Have you done it? What is it?
Okay. Yeah. So knowing that it could affect the person, no. But yeah, I have done it. If I found out that the price of a certain thing which, the shopkeeper or the vendor is quoted, it is out of the margin or it is quite high, I always, ask him to reduce it. I always go for negotiation. But yeah,
So
if
you
I
go for negotiation for
yes,
purchasing things. For example, if you
yes,
are going for some education, you have joined an education center. In that place, if
yes,
you are bargaining, or if you with a
yes,
teacher who is teaching you, if you are bargaining,
yes,
and if you
yes,
do such kind of things, is
yeah,
it weird? Do you accept it is weird when you are in affordable position? When you can
yeah,
pay what the teacher is asking you as a fees, but you are bargain knowing that the teacher is already struggling. So saying
yeah,
that the teacher is going to help me to give the knowledge sharing. Have you done
uh-huh.
it? I'm asking. I'm asking that.
Yes.
And if you why do you pursue that weird attitude when you say it is weird behavior? Why do you do that?
Okay. So yeah, as I told earlier, I mean, bargain is something which automatically comes, if the person who's standing in front of you is, quoting high, or if the price which he or she is quoted is quite high, then obviously bargain comes, bargain or negotiation comes automatically. But this is not always the case, as people could understand that few things which you can afford, someone who is actually selling is not cannot afford that. So yeah.
I think you have not given the clear idea on it. The question is so
Mhm.
simple. Have you
Mhm.
bargained on something that knowingly that if you bargain that is going to affect that person? Have you done it? If it is a weird behavior, why are you
Mhm.
into that weirdness?
Okay, so as I told, no, I mean, if I understand that this negotiation or this bargain will affect the person, in a negative way, I have not done that bargain. I always see that, the profit should be on both the side. No one should be a loser in any such case. So I prefer doing bargain only when it is required, not if it is affecting the person who's standing in front of me. I never does that.
So yeah, that's what. So in that way, you
Yes.
cannot say that bargaining is a weird behavior. Bargaining is, if
Mm-hmm.
you say it is a weird behavior, you have to justify it. If you are justifying
Okay.
it, if you are doing that, then you should also
Hmm.
say that yes, at times even I was weird. I am weird.
Okay.
I am selfish.
Okay.
I just mean and calculative. I'm self-centered. This
Mm-hmm.
is what you have to accept if you have done it.
Okay.
Because once you say bargaining is a weird, otherwise the bargaining will not come into the weird behavior,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
right?
Yes.
Knowingly, if you are doing, yes, it is weirdness.
Mm.
See,
Yes.
unknowingly, if you're doing, if you are 18 plus, you cannot say that unknowingly I have done, I have no idea on it. You are a
Yeah.
person, grown up person. You cannot say that
Mm.
no, unknowingly I have done it. So if you have done
Mm-hmm.
it, if you say, because it is your word, as you told that no weird behavior bargaining, because for weird
Yeah.
behavior in the public place, you can bring into a lot of other things. The people, as you told, like
Mm-hmm.
your uncle person could scream or shout or showing their
Mm-hmm.
short-tempered nature, or
Yeah.
smoking and drinking, misbehaving, grabbing, and
Mm-hmm.
eat teasing or stalking. These are all the
Mm-hmm.
weird behavior in the public place.
True.
Leaving all
True.
the things, you have gone to bargaining. So that is what
Yeah.
I again want you to come out with a better
Okay.
answer to justify it.
Okay. Okay.
The next
Understood.
question to you is what kind of weirdness that you could tackle? A weirdness by a person who is a stranger, or weirdness by your family member? What way it is affecting you?
Okay. So I think eve teasing could be the one, because nowadays, not nowadays, since past, you know, every time, let it be at home or outside, women are facing this a lot. And
No, it is no, the question is what
yeah.
kind of weirdness could affect you? See, for example, in the public places, in the public place, if
Mhm.
someone is behaving weird, okay,
Mhm.
someone has
Mhm.
got a weird behavior, but you are not affected by it, but you have seen it, right? Whereas
Okay. Yeah.
in your family, if someone has got that weird behavior, would it
Mhm.
affect or not? That is the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So yeah, spitting on road is the weirdest thing, which I actually mind. People doing that. But yeah, if someone else is doing that on road, I would just make a face, or I'll just say that okay.
Where bargaining and negotiating cannot be called as a weird behavior, because it is between it is a mutual no compromise. Say
Understood.
you have
Yeah.
bargained, and you want some fee concession. Instead of losing that 12,500, I have lost only 2,500, because
So
something is better than nothing, right?
correct.
So
Correct.
I accepted it. It is because of a mutual compromise. You
Yes.
have not forced me. You have not bargained on the nice point. So
Mhm.
bargain is a skill. Bargaining is
Yes.
a skill.
Yes.
But so you cannot bring that into weird behavior. That is what I want you to register in your mind.
Okay.
Right. So when
Understood.
you
Understood.
and bargaining, if you say it is a weird behavior, that example as you told, that is good.
Mhm.
But
Oh.
if the question is asked to you, have
Huh.
you got into any kind of weird behavior,
Huh.
weird thing? If you
Huh.
say that is weirdness, why do you do that weirdness? You have